Shalom, Boker Tov. It is Rabbi Eric Solomon here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's been a little while since I've offered some morning Torah, so I thought I would just do a little piece in honor of Independence Day and wish everyone a meaningful, happy July 4th, July 3rd, little Torah. So I want to remind everyone, our Independence Day, there's a great story of independence in the Torah, the most famous story in the independence of Torah, which is the story of the book of Exodus. And I've talked a little about this before. My people, ancient Israelites, the Hebrews, are enslaved in Egypt. And Moses, our teacher, Moshe Rabbeinu, goes to Pharaoh to say, let my people go. And what is, again, what I've taught before, and it's important to remember, the line is actually not shlach ami only, which means let my people go. It's true. But Moshe also says, let my people go, shlach ami v'ya'avduni. Let my people go so that they can serve me, and me with a capital M, meaning God. So the purpose of our independence from Egypt, the Torah teaches, was not just freedom, sof pasuk, and it was freedom so that we can go serve something greater than ourselves. And in fact, deeper in the Torah, one of the great commentaries, I've heard this from some feminist commentators, when we went to the waters of the Sea of Reeds to make it from Egypt to the wilderness of Sinai, some describe that as a birth canal because we turned from being a mixed multitude, a diverse people and enslaved people, into becoming the actual first use of the term B'nai Yisrael, the children of Israel, or Am Yisrael, actually. Better say not B'nai, but Am Yisrael, the people of Israel. We're not just these individuals. In Egypt, we are individuals, and then we come out as a unified whole. We actually, the first term of Am Yisrael, which is for Am Yisrael Chai. So just to be clear, in Egypt, we become free, we become independent from a tyrant, okay? We come free, not just to be free, although that's clear, we're allowed the dignity of freedom, but in order to do something greater with our freedom, okay? To serve something greater. And then when we come out of Egypt, we are bound, we become reborn as a unified people, as something connected with each other, with a shared destiny and a shared story. Okay, why do I offer this? Because this term, Independence Day, which is so important, I mean, not just in America, but across the world, but definitely in America, where we threw off tyranny of our ancient or older British, empire, is such a rooted value in the depth of the American soul. Something I'm so proud of, and we all should be proud of, that we threw off tyranny and we said, we will not be enslaved like the British were our pharaoh in a sense. We said, we won't take it anymore. We want to be free, independent of anyone who's going to control us, certainly unfairly, undemocratically. That won't be acceptable. And that is part of the root depth of who we are. The challenge is, of course, right, is that if independence is taken unto itself, and that is the only value, just to be independent, to be free, then we miss the second part of the verse. To serve me. We also miss the part of the birth canal, to be united. It's of course being independent because that's our right to be free, but then it's about choosing what are we going to do with our freedom and recognizing that if we don't think carefully about our freedom, if all we want is independence, then we end up serving something. Everybody serves someone or something. So for example, if you just emphasize your freedom and I am as independent and I just want to be independent, and you don't choose where to dedicate your time, your energy, your soul, you end up serving your ego. You end up serving yourself. I'm free. I want to go, eat all the food I want, do all the rights I have, do whatever I want. That's the greatest of America. Well, that's true, thank God. But if you don't end up saying, but I want to take that freedom and do something to contribute and serve something greater, the military, public service, teacher, healer, entrepreneur, whatever, that you're going to serve something greater, the default is you serve yourself. You're selfish, self-focused. Kind of like the opposite of God, the external serving. It's serving what you think is best. That's not the point of independence. And I wanted to say, Independence Day is about being grateful for the independence, being grateful for our freedom, but it's also about realizing that our freedom is dependent on people that came before us who had the guts, the courage, and the bravery to stand up. I don't want to feel independent from Crispus Attucks, the African American who was the first person killed in the Boston Massacre. I want to be independent of the British, independent of tyranny, but I want to be reminded of how dependent I am on the great people who sacrificed their lives to bring me this independence. Not to mention forefathers, writers of the Constitution, etc., 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 as imperfect as they were, including being slave owners, etc., and not fulfilling all that was written on paper. Yes, but still, I feel dependent on them. I feel grateful for them. It's about choosing what we're independent from. Same thing with the children of Israel. They were independent of Pharaoh, desiring that. That's righteous. But they shouldn't be independent of Moses. They shouldn't feel independent from each other. And they shouldn't feel independent from God. It's about choosing what we want to be independent from. Certainly unjust tyranny, etc. So here's my close. Independence Day, which we all should celebrate. I wish everyone a meaningful 4th of July, happy 4th of July in this challenging circumstances. I know we're not going to be able to do the normal celebrations we'd like to do, but yes, let us celebrate. Thank God. Thank God. Let's be proud of our country for having the guts, the history to be independent and to throw off the chains of those who were cruel to us, abused us. But let's also be grateful and in some levels dependent, reminding ourselves dependent that we are dependent on people that came before us who were courageous, people now who are courageous, other Americans, and even, I would say, the greatest values like the Constitution, and even I would say the Holy One for those who are religious. This day maybe should be renamed Interdependence Day, because we were independent from those who were evil, but we are always dependent as Americans on those who live out the highest values, on those who we are journeying together as Americans towards a greater America, which I might call the Promised Land. So happy Interdependence Day. Happy Independence Day. And I wish all a safe and healthy, meaningful consideration. What was independence for? And who do we never want to be independent from? Shabbat Shalom. Take care.